Hi, my name is Ashley Emmert, and I did my case presentation over Chapter 10's case, A Job at East Coast Yachts. East Coast Yachts offers its employees a 401k plan with a 5% match. A 401k plan is a retirement plan offered by many companies that are tax-deferred saving accounts. East Coast Yachts uses Bledsoe Financial Services as its 401k plan administrator and offers 6 different options to its employees. The first option is company stock. Although East Coast Yachts is a privately held company, owner Larissa Warren expressed the company stock was expected to go public in the next 3 to 4 years. The second option is a Bledsoe S&P 500 index fund. This fund tracks the S&P 500 and is weighted exactly the same. The fund expenses are usually low because an index fund purchases assets based on the composition of the index it is following. The fund manager is not required to research stocks and make investment decisions. The third option is a small cap fund. This fund primarily invests in small cap stocks, so the return of the funds are more volatile. The fourth option is a large company stock fund. This fund invests in long-term corporate bonds issued by U.S. domiciled companies and is restricted to investments in bonds with investment-grade credit rating. The fifth option is a bond fund, investing in long-term corporate bonds issued by U.S. domiciled companies. This fund is also restricted to investments in bonds with an investment-grade credit rating. The last option is a money market fund. This fund invests in short-term, high credit quality debt instruments. Because of the credit quality and short-term nature of the investments, there's only a very slight risk of negative return. Question 1 asks, what advantages do mutual funds offer compared to the company stock? As part of investing in the 401k plan, you would be better served investing in mutual funds rather than company stock for multiple reasons. First, mutual funds offer asset diversification. This means investing in a mix of asset classes, maturities, or sectors to reduce the impact of losses from one particular class or sector on the portfolio, reducing your risk overall. Asset diversification is not provided by investing in the company's stock. Second, because mutual funds accept investments from various investors, they are able to take advantage of their buying and selling size, reducing their transaction costs. Third, because you pay a management fee to a fund manager, you have someone to effectively take charge of your investments to try and achieve the highest returns possible. This is especially useful in cases where you don't have the time or knowledge to go through the financials of every stock that you might want to invest in. Lastly, you don't have to wait long to earn enough money to buy higher cost investments, because mutual funds allow periodic investments in small denominations. For example, the large company stock fund would allow you to invest small denominations in stocks of companies whose stock prices might actually be out of your budget if you directly bought those stocks. Question 2 states, assume that you invest 5% of your salary and receive the full 5% match from East Coast Yachts. What ERE do you earn from the match? What conclusions do you draw about matching plans? You would earn 100% from the match up to 5%, therefore you would earn a 100% effective annual return. Matching plans help you maximize your contribution because the company is also contributing to your 401k plan. Any slight match increases the employee's return on his or her investment in the plan. The age of the employee should also be taken into consideration. This is because the closer he or she gets to retirement, the more exposure he or she will want to fixed income. For example, if you invest $100 in a mutual fund at $10 per share, which the company also matches 100%, and the fund increases to $15 per share, then you have earned a 200% return. The match also protects you if the share drops. For example, you invest $100 in a mutual fund at $10 per share, which the company matches 100%, and the fund decreases to $5 per share. You have earned a 0% return, meaning that you broke even. Question 3 states, assume you decide you should invest at least part of your money in large capitalization stocks of companies based in the United States. What are the advantages and disadvantages of choosing the Bledsoe Large Company Stock Fund compared to the Bledsoe S&P 500 Index Fund? Advantages include active management and flexibility. This fund is actively managed by professional portfolio managers who aim to outperform the market. They can leverage their expertise to select stocks that might not be included in the S&P 500 index but show strong potential growth. The fund is also not restricted to the stocks in the S&P 500, giving the managers the flexibility to invest in a broader range of large cap companies that they believe will perform well. Higher returns can result from this. Disadvantages include higher fees and potential underperformance. Actively managed funds usually have higher management fees due to the costs associated with active management and research involved. Over time, these costs may reduce your profits. Also, while active management aims to beat the market, there is also the risk that the fund might underperform the market in the S&P 500 index, which could result in a lower return than a passive index fund. Question 4 states, the returns on the Bledsoe small cap funds are the most volatile of all mutual funds offered in the 401k plan. Why would you ever want to invest in this fund? When you examine the expenses of the mutual fund, you will notice that this fund also has the highest expenses. Does this affect your decision to invest in this fund? Investing in a small cap fund with high volatility and expenses requires careful consideration, and whether it is a suitable investment for you depends on your investment goals, risk tolerance, and overall portfolio strategy. Small cap stocks have historically shown higher growth potential compared to large cap stocks. These companies often have more room for expansion and can experience rapid growth when successful. Including small cap stocks in a portfolio can enhance diversification. Small cap stocks may not always move in tandem with large cap stocks or other asset classes, potentially reducing overall risk. Volatility in short term does not necessarily translate to poor long-term performance. If you have a long-term investment horizon and can withstand short-term fluctuations, the potential for a higher returns may be reason to consider a small cap fund. High expenses can erode your overall return. If the Bledsoe small cap fund has the highest expenses among the available options, it is essential to assess whether the potential returns justify the additional costs. It is also important to understand the fee structure of the fund. Some funds charge front-end load, back-end load, etc. These can impact your returns, especially if you plan to make frequent contributions or withdrawals. When deciding if you should invest in your fund, you should first assess your risk tolerance. If the high volatility of the small cap fund aligns with your risk appetite, you can tolerate short-term market fluctuations. It may be a suitable choice. You should also consider how the small cap fund fits into your overall portfolio. Diversification across asset classes is a key principle of risk management. Ensure that your portfolio is well balanced and aligns with your investment objectives. It is also important to evaluate your investment horizon. If you have a long-term perspective and can ride out the market volatility, the potential benefits of small cap stocks may align with your goals. Lastly, you should examine the historical performance of small caps funds. While past performance is not indicative of future results, it can provide insights into how the fund has behaved under various market conditions.